So my case, my colleague has put a very nice case. Why you should still stay in the old vestiges of the surgeries and you should still continue the old school, but to stay. Well, we are now seeing the increasing trend towards the primary vitrectomy. Earlier, which was done as a surgery of exclusion in RD. Now it is the surgery of choice. This is the evaluation how we have come about in vitrectomy for retinal detachment surgery. Now, what are the perceived advantage of encerclage? What she talked about. One, well, there is a recurrence, fear of recurrence just without not putting the buccal. Buccal so-called relieves the traction, and for inferior breaks, it's caused ineffective tamponade by oil of gas. So we have to give a buccal effect to protect against the tamponade of the inferior breaks. But there are now multiple factors which in the recent 10 years or 15 years have come, which just obviate the need of the buccal in the cases of surgery for vitrectomy in the retinal detachment surgery. There are better instrumentation, better illumination, better visualization, and the small gauge surgery and fast cutters with the tip close to the with the cutter tip cutting close to the tip of the cutter gives it tremendous control over the hands of the surgeons. So what are the shortcomings told and how we can resolve these? So inadequate inferior buccals, inferior support or tamponade. I will talk about the results of some other studies. But most important thing is good vitreous clearing and meticulous vitreous-based shaving. No relief of traction. She talked about no relief of tractions, how it is difficult to remove the vitreous from the pars vitreous base. Well, it is not so difficult nowadays. You have a good depressed vitrectomy surgeries you can do. You have good visualization system which makes you able to look almost up to the almost beyond the area anterior to aura. So with the depression, either with the direct under microscope, you can see the aura and beyond and anterior to it even. Here you can see anterior to it even. And do a surgery like this. Okay, it's not playing. Or you can do it under the wide angle microscope, wide angle visualization, depress it. And mind you, most of the cases do not lead to any lens touch if you do it properly with due care. And this step is actually essential in even if you do the vitrectomy, even if you do an encerclage with it. This step is not optional, and this step is going to take the same time even if you do an encerclage or you don't do it. Now, there was no scientific conclusive evidence is there. She had shown me so many studies. I have my own share of studies which showed so many almost equivalent outcomes in both ways. See, there is some difference in 1 or 2%. She had also shown 2% higher. Does it carry any meaning in the real clinical practice? So this is meta-analysis. I have these studies, many studies, which shows good outcomes of the perspinal vitrectomy alone, even in the presence of inferior breaks. Then there is a Viper study, which is multicentric prospective randomized study for treatment of vitrectomies, which directly compared vitrectomies with or without buccal in pseudophakic patients. And guess what is the result? Encerclage band does not significantly reduce any second procedure necessary for reattachment. And mind you, this is in 20 gauge vitrectomy. In 23 gauge and 25 gauge, the difference will almost be negligible. They have produced a third subgroup analysis in this for inferior breaks, where also it doesn't show any significantly improved primary anatomical success. Now take this with the problem of encerclage. She also admitted this in problems. She admitted that it is time consuming, it more invasive, it takes half an hour more. Some for seasoned surgeon, it will be 20-30 minutes more. There is a risk of perforation, choroidal hemorrhage, prolonged recovery time. But more importantly for me, these are the short-term problems. More importantly, it leads to more inflammation because you're handling the globe more. It causes more inflammation, and that itself can lead to more PVR. It induces complacency in the surgeon that I don't have to remove the vitreous base. I can just, my buccal is there to help me. I don't have to go and remove all the vitreous base or shave it totally. This tends to leave, and this makes you leave a lot of vitreous behind. And with this, the encerclage, getting the vitreous blaze closer, it causes contraction of vitreous blaze, promotes it, and leads to recurrence. Now, long-term complications, she also had admitted, but I want to change that, add some more, that there is a disturbed ocular surface because you are doing peritomy, and there is conjunctival scarring leading to loss of potential area for a future bleb, which with glaucoma is common in post-vitrectomized eyes, particularly if you use silicone oils. So ask yourself, is it really worth spending that time and energy, causing more inflammation and pain of the patient to the patients and long-term issues for that merely 2 to 3% difference in the single operatives record, single surgeon success rate? And I have no doubt that it is an unnecessary wastage of a procedure. We should do away. Thank you.